Studios spent millions hyping Tom Hardy as Hollywood's next action god, then buried the 5 movies where he actually acted. Hardy's biggest flops include a diaper-wearing Al Capone, a Star Trek villain so bad it shut down the franchise for 7 years, and a Soviet murder mystery banned in Russia. These movies bombed at the box office, but every one of them is secretly great if you know where to look. This thing dropped during COVID, pulled in just over $1 million, and vanished before most people even knew it existed. And that's kind of a shame because Capone is one of the weirdest, most committed performances Tom Hardy's ever given. Hardy plays Al Capone, long after the bootlegging empire and Tommy guns. This is Capone near the end. Dementia setting in, diapers, hallucinations, mumbling to ghosts, and yes, literally crapping himself on screen. The director Josh Trank was coming off the disaster that was Fantastic Four, a movie so badly received he publicly trashed it online. This was supposed to be his comeback, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He said, "It's an ugly, uncomfortable movie. If that makes you angry, then I guess it worked." It bombed hard at the box office, but Hardy's performance is so committed, so completely off the rails, that it's become something of a curiosity for people who like their biopics deranged and messy. This was supposed to be Hardy's big break. He'd done Black Hawk Down, Band of Brothers, and then he lands a lead role as the main villain in Star Trek Nemesis, a clone of Captain Picard, opposite Patrick Stewart. On paper, it's a dream role. In reality, not so much. The movie cost $60 million to make and barely crawled past that at the box office. Fans weren't into it. Critics trashed it. It killed the next-generation film franchise, and there wouldn't be another Star Trek movie for 7 years, until J.J. Abrams came in with the reboot. Even Patrick Stewart didn't think Hardy would amount to much. After Hardy finished filming, Stewart watched him leave the set and thought, "There goes someone I think we shall never hear of again." Years later, he admitted that he was thrilled to be proven completely wrong. Nemesis was a flop, no question. But if you go back now, especially with how the franchise has evolved, there's something there. It's uneven, but it's got moments. And Hardy walked out of that mess just fine. Went on to star in Matthew Vaughn's Layered Cake. Here's the thing. Child 44 had a hell of a premise. Stalin-era Russia, a state that literally denies murder even exists, and a Soviet officer forced to investigate a series of child killings anyway. But Summit couldn't figure out how to sell it, and Lionsgate clearly had zero interest in backing it. The US release was dumped with almost no effort. The cast was stacked. Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, Jason Clarke, Paddy Considine. Richard Price wrote the screenplay. And it was loosely based on the case of Soviet serial killer Andrei Chikatilo. Russia banned the film outright for making them look like Mordor, which was ridiculous but also unnecessary, because the movie bombed hard on its own. Just $13 million at the box office on a $50 million budget. What got missed in all of that mess is that this is a genuinely well-made film. A detective thriller set in 1953, the year Stalin died, with all the repression and paranoia hanging in the air. It's like noir in a Soviet era, with a 2-track structure, character drama running alongside political decay. Lionsgate didn't think anyone would show up for an MMA drama, so they gave Warrior almost no marketing. Critics praised it, but audiences ignored it, and by the time people caught up with it on video, the damage was already done. Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton play estranged brothers headed for a collision course in the ring. Nick Nolte plays their alcoholic father trying to hold things together. It's a character-driven sports drama with real emotional weight. The reviews were excellent, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics called it one of the best sports movies of its time. Nolte even got an Oscar nomination, and people who actually watched it called it the Rocky of its generation. But it never got a fair shot. Budget was $25 million, box office came in just under that. Nolte later said it was the best performance of his career. He lost the Oscar to Beginners, but it didn't matter. Warrior had already earned its place as a cult classic. The drop came with pedigree. Dennis Lehane wrote it. His stuff had already been turned into Mystic River, Gone Baby Gone, Shutter Island. This one was based on a short story called Animal Rescue, and it had all the right pieces. Brooklyn setting, small-scale crime, slow burn tension. Hardy plays a bartender who gets caught up in a robbery gone sideways. James Gandolfini, in his final role, plays the bar's owner. The film was subtle, deliberate, and built around tension. Critics liked it, certified fresh at 88%. They praised the atmosphere, the script, and Hardy's restrained performance. But it was marketed like a typical mob thriller, and that threw a lot of people off. Anyone expecting shootouts and car chases got moody silences and long, uneasy conversations instead. Still, it held up. Crime fans found it later. A lot of them now consider it one of Hardy's best performances. A proper noir with character depth and no wasted motion.